Just pulled up to Aldi on a Sunday morning. It's just about to open to pick up the shopping for this week's limited budget challenge. This week we're just going to do a £1 per meal challenge for the whole week, and this is going to be based around a reduced chicken I picked up, because in a lot of the comments and chats on these challenges, people say how they like to pick up reduced items, freeze them down, get themselves a bargain. Something I like to do as well, so I thought, why not figure that in? So at home in the freezer we have a £2.15 chicken picked up from Asda's. It's the last one of 4. Picked them up, used them. It saves money in the long run, doesn't it? So that's all linked into this limited budget challenge. Gonna go grab the rest of the ingredients, see how many meals we can make using chicken. That's going to be part of it. Try and make some healthy meals, and it will average out at £1 per meal over the 7 days. Let's get into Aldi's. Let's get the shopping done. Get home, show you what I've got, and get cooking. Just finished the shop at Aldi's. I accounted for the chicken, which I bought reduced from Asda's. I've still got 35p left. I'm going to go to Asda's anyway, because I've got to get some bits for the households, some pet food, stuff like that. Going to take 35p in with me, and I'm going to see if there's anything I can pick up, which is a little bit different, something to use up the 35p. I could just leave it, but do you know what? I'm going to use it up. Once I've been in Asda's, we'll get back and I will show you the stuff I picked up from Aldi's, the item if I get anything from Asda's, and then obviously the chicken, which has been reduced in the freezer. Right, let's go through what we picked up from Aldi's first. The Aldi shop came in at £18.50. So I have 2 pints of whole milk, 1 bag of baby spinach, 2 bananas, 1 small bag of carrots. I didn't buy a massive bag of onions because I don't never use that much up in a week. So I got 3 very large white onions. Same goes for the potatoes this week. A lot of recommendations in the comment section, because I said I don't want a 1.5 kilogram bag of potatoes for 1 person. So just pick up baking potatoes. I've done exactly that. So I've got 4 decent sized potatoes. Thanks for that in the comments, everyone. Carton of tomato passata. A tin of mixed taco mixed beans in a tomato sauce. It just gives us an extra sauce. Some chopped tomatoes. Some baked beans from the essentials range. 3 peppers, a green, yellow and a red one. One of my favourite and regular ones on these challenges. Some sage and onion stuffing. I'm always buying apples, so I switched it up today and I picked up some pears. There's 4 large pears in there. They're called mini pears, but they're big old pears. I picked up some porridge oats, some baby plum tomatoes. Tried to keep up the healthy amount of veg and fruit that I've got going this week as well. A bag of long grain rice, 6 British medium sized eggs, a cheap pack of pasta, some smoked back bacon, which is versatile for cooking and for bacon sarnies, some flavoured Moroccan couscous, some plain flour, so I'm going to get on and do some baking. The first things we're going to do today is make up some plain flour rolls, packet of ramen noodles. This I'm really happy with. This was in the specials range. Some Barber's Cave aged specially selected extra mature cheddar, strength 5. This is an award-winning cheese from Somerset. Really excited to get that and use that. That's all the items from Aldi's. And then you've got, shall I do the receipt first for that? Let's do that. So the plain flour, 1.5 kilograms, 75p, pasta 41, rice 52, oats 89, instant noodles 35, stuffing mix 45, the taco bean mix 69, baked beans 27, diced tomatoes 45, the passatas 49, onions 95p, onions 95, the cheese was £2.29, the couscous was 49, the bacon £1.45, the bananas, 2 loose bananas 16p each, the whole milk was £1.20, the baking potatoes 79, carrots 40, eggs £1.55, the baby spinach 62, sorry, the baby spinach is 99, the baby plum tomatoes are 62, the mixed peppers £1.19, and the pears 99p, which takes us in at a grand total of £18.50. So you've got £18.50 at Aldi's. And then you've got the reduced chicken I picked up the other week, which has been in the freezer, which was, well, these originally £4.90 for the chickens, down to £3.16, down to £2.15. So I did, like I said at the beginning of the video, I did pick up 4 of these just for household use, and I figured why not incorporate one. That's how when you're doing your budgeting, you get great deals, you freeze them down, you make them last, you can take advantage of them. So you've got the chicken, and that left us with 35p to spend. And I went into Asda's, I had a little look around. I didn't want to pick up any noodles or anything else because we've already got them. There wasn't much on offer for the fresh fruit and veg. There's not many things you can buy singly in Asda's. So I ended up picking up a soup, but I don't know if this is being discontinued because I'll show you the price now. This came in at 32p. So there you go, soup 32p. And it's a aromatic spiced chickpea and spinach soup, and it's a health menu version, and it says 2 of your 5 a day per can, high in fibre, source of iron. I reckon we could add a bit of chicken scraps to that and bolster it up with a few veg, and that'd be quite a hearty lunch or dinner. Ingredient wise, it hasn't got too much stuff in it. So it's got water, chickpeas 17%, tomato puree, spinach, apple puree, red peppers, onions, modified starch, tomatoes, cumin, coriander, tomato juice, salt, turmeric, colours, paprika extract, carotenes, flavours, contains celery. That's it. So not that unhealthy for a tin product. Right, enough waffling on. That's all the ingredients we've got for this week. Looking forward to getting on with this one. So all of this comes in at just under £21. So £1 a meal, 3 meals a day for the next 7 days. I'll catch you at breakfast. Before I get on and do breakfast, the first thing I'm going to do is cook this whole chicken. I'm going to do it roast in a bag. So we'll cook this chicken up, then we'll separate it down, and then we'll go through some of the meals we're going to have planned. It's perfectly fine to freeze cooked chicken, so we can portion out what we're going to have for each meal. Stuff which is going to be used in the next couple of days we will keep in the fridge once it's fully cooled down, and the rest we'll freeze up. It's just an easier, convenient way of doing it, and we're just cooking the chicken in one go. Also, I want access to these bones. A couple of people in a previous challenge said to roast the bones down after you've removed the meat, and then we're going to make a lovely stock. I just think it's something That's quite important for me to get on and do. Enough waffling, get this chicken in, and I'm going to get breakfast sorted, and this can cool down today. Right, so breakfast is going to be bacon, a couple of eggs, and some spinach. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get the bread rolls done on day one, which isn't a big deal. I can do them Monday night when I get home from work. I've got time after work to do that. So let's have a look at this bacon, see how much we've got going on. Thick slices. I'll take 2 off. I've got 3 here. So 3 bits of bacon. A nice little cheeky cooked breakfast on a Sunday morning. Save the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more bits of bacon for the rest of the week. Start that cooking. I was thinking I'll add a little bit of cheese into my scrambled egg. I just want to try this cheese straight away, to be honest with you. Oh my God. Wow. That is incredible cheese. That's the best thing about having this really strong cheese, is it's going to go a lot further than a mild. That flavour is incredible. So we have a little bit of cheese, which I'll put in the eggs once the bacon started doing. Then I'll cook the spinach in the salty bacon juice. I've got lots of lovely meals planned this week. The chicken thing has got me thinking of loads of different types of recipes for the chicken. Just to give you an idea of what's coming up this week on the challenge, I've got burritos, I've got chicken quesadillas, I've got loads going on. But to start, we're just going to have this cooked breakfast, and I'm going to do for lunch today, day one, I'm going to do a bit of couscous with chicken, and then save half the couscous back and make an easy lunch for Monday. And then this evening, I'm going to have chicken and chips is probably what's going to be happening. Right, so the bacon's doing nicely in the pan. Going to chuck the eggs in. I'm just doing it all in one pan just for convenience, to be honest. Just going to put 2 eggs in there. Leave us 4 eggs for the rest of the week. Chuck that lovely cheese in. To do cooking like this quite a lot when I was younger. I was living on my own in a studio apartment, just to save on washing up and stuff. We used to just chuck everything in one pan. It works. It's a good way of doing it. Give it a little bit of salt. Doesn't need too much salt because we've got the salty bacon, but it does need a load of pepper. Take some of this lovely spinach. Let that wilt down. Don't want to overcook the eggs, so they're pretty much done. So they can come out. Looked like a lot of spinach when I put it in, but it soon wilts down. Get all this flavouring from the pan on the spinach. There we go, nice tasty little breakfast. See what sauces I've got in my pack. Gonna go brown for the bacon. I'm gonna do a little bit of ketchup on the cheesy eggs. So day one breakfast, taking advantage of being at home on the weekend. We've got this cheesy scrambled egg with ketchup. Get ready for a whole week of me saying how amazing that cheese is, because it's coming. That tastes so good with that mature cheese with the egg. In there, we've got some spinach. I do like having spinach for breakfast. I don't know what it is about it. It just wilts down really tasty, goes well with bacon. Fatty bacon, just how I like it. I'm going to finish my breakfast. I'll see you back in the kitchen for lunch, where we're going to strip down the chicken we've got in the oven. Right, I'm going to sort the chicken out for the week. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to get the couscous sorted. This couscous is going to be enough for 2 meals. So it's going to be lunch for today and day 2. Add a load of hot water. While that's doing, we're going to sort the chicken out. First thing I'm going to save is the juice from the cook in the bag chicken, without trying to make a mess. Don't want to waste that. Someone actually told me in the comment section on a previous video that that's liquid gold. So we got that. Going to seal that up. Strip the meat down on this. I'm going to section off a couple of the drumsticks though, because I want them with chips for tea tonight. That's probably going to be enough actually, because I've had bacon, I've had eggs. Now this is cooled down sufficiently that I can just start pulling all the meat off of it. I want to ensure that I don't waste anything on this bird. So I need a little bowl for the bones as well. Taking the skin off, because there is actually a little trick someone mentioned about the skin in the air fryer. I'll leave that there. I'm actually going to try that in a minute. Someone said you can just chuck the skin in the air fryer and it crisps up really nice like a snack. So we'll see if that works. Other ways of doing this, you can just take the chicken and section it out before you cook it. I've done that in a previous video and shared that. A couple of wings there, look, stick them in the pile. It's going to cool down, stick it in the fridge, and then we'll freeze down the bits we're not going to use. I really am interested to see how many meals I can get out of this chicken for the week. While I'm finishing off stripping that chicken carcass, I think I'm going to try and crisp up these chicken skins in the air fryer. I've got the chicken carcass. I've taken off most of the bones and the flesh. Put that to one side. I've got the rest of the chicken, which I'm going to portion out. I've also got the chicken drumstick I'm going to have with chips tonight. I'm just crisping up the chicken skin. I've salvaged the liquid gold, the chicken juices. I've got the couscous. I only need half for my lunch because I had quite a big breakfast. So I'm going to do the rest for my lunch tomorrow. Try and make that fair. There we go. Going to add some of this chicken for lunch tomorrow. That's chicken for now. Going to use some honey sriracha sauce. So I've said this before in challenges, but I buy the main ingredients on a budget challenge and then I just use stuff like sauces. If I can use stuff which has been salvaged, like sauce packets, I'll do that over the fact that I've got stuff in the cupboard. Lunch tomorrow I'm going to have a healthy amount of salad. I don't need any more spinach today, I've used spinach already. I do fancy some raw pepper, so we'll get on and do that quickly. Taking a quarter of the pepper because I don't need too much, I want to use it throughout the week. I'm thinking stuffed peppers, I'm thinking pepper in the quesadillas and the burritos, so we're going to be a little bit frugal on the use of the peppers, but that'll be enough to give it a little bit of crunch. Stick that over the top. I've just had a little peek at the chicken skins and they're working out really nicely, so I'm excited about that. I've just covered the chicken and the carcass, just got to let that cool down fully before I start portioning it out and working out what I'm going to do with it. Now I could have added some carrot, some onion, but we are on day one. I have got a long week to get through, so I'm just going to hold off on the other bits because I think I've got enough food going on for day one. While I'm waiting on the chicken skins, because I actually want to crumble a bit over the top for a bit of crunch, I'm just going to get on and make some wedges, marinate them for tonight because we're having that chicken and chips, probably with some baked beans as well. So I'm going to do like some wedges with the skin on because these are nice looking potatoes. Nice chunky wedges there, look. And then choose something for spice wise. I think I'm just going to go standard piri seasoning over those fries. Mix them over a few hours in the seasoning and the oil, and then they're going to go in the air fryer at dinner time. The chicken skin's crisped up lovely. Look at that. Going to add some of that over the top of our couscous. Going to try a bit on its own. So good. Thank you for that recommendation on the channel. So I've got lunch for work on Monday. Put that to the side, and then I've got this lunch to see me through till dinner time of the chicken with the crispy skin, couscous and pepper. Give it a taste. Really tasty with the crunchy chicken skin. I'm going to get my daughter to try it because she's a bit of a fan of couscous as well. It's couscous with peppers and chicken, but I took the skin off the chicken when I cooked it, and then I put the skin back in the air fryer to crunch it up.
The crunch is really nice.
You like that?
The flavour's good as well. Did you add that honey?
Sriracha.
Sriracha,
yeah, and then just some chicken, and then I just thought give it an extra crispiness. Do you like that then? Yeah. Do you want me to make you that for lunch? Yeah, so there you go. That worked out really well. That's a really nice lunch. Back for dinner, I've got the pre-cooked chicken. I've got my potatoes. I'm just going to stick the potatoes in the air fryer, then I need to grab a quick shower. And by the time I've had a shower, they should be ready to go. So we just stick them in the air fryer for 20 minutes. Waiting on the wedges to finish off. I'm going to do some beans with mine. I'm thinking we'll use half a tin of baked beans, save the rest for something else. It's causing chaos today. Right, there we go. So half the tin was sauce. So we'll shake out the beans and then we'll add some of the sauce back. Even it out. Something I really enjoy doing with my baked beans is adding flavour in. You can just mess around with spices. I've just added some tandoori spice to my beans. I do love messing around with baked beans. I ate a lot of baked beans when I was living on my own and didn't have a lot of money. Back then it was like 13, 14p a can of beans. You can add different spices, curry, chilli. Another thing I used to like doing was adding onions to it. You can also add cheese. Cheesy beans are incredible. We've got tandoori beans, we've got chicken, and we've got a couple of, and we've got some wedges. I rarely buy shop bought chips or wedges anymore because since air fryers have come into existence, it's so simple to make your own. Genuinely, it's just, there's no faff. You just chop your potatoes. You saw what I did. I just left the skin on because I actually like the flavour of the skin. The skin's good for you anyway. A little bit of oil, and then you add some spices, in this instance the piri piri, and you've got perfect potato wedges. Well, that's the beans done. That's dinner day one. Beans are about to go over the edge of the plate, but we've got chicken, piri piri wedges, and some tandoori baked beans. A taste test while I'm at it, shall I? It's going to be a bit hot. Delicious. I'm going to smash this and I'll come back to you in the morning for day two's breakfast. Right, up early on a Monday. Just going to get some breakfast on the go. Just going to keep it nice and simple this morning. Just going to have some porridge. Going to add hot water. A few people say that shouldn't heat your porridge up this way. I've been told that it's not good for you, but this is the way I've always done it. Also, when you get the sachets, you just add hot water to them as well. I don't know. I've not looked up too much into it, but I'm wondering if I'll just leave that for a minute. Gonna add a tiny little bit of milk just to make it a bit creamier, and it saves using the whole of this chunk of milk just to make the porridge. Then I'm going to add a bit of marmalade from a orange marmalade jar, which I got from a hotel. It's really good freebies. Just whack that through. That's breakfast. Porridge with a bit of orange marmalade. That'll keep me going. And I've got my lunch ready for this afternoon. And then tonight when we get back for day two, I'm looking at doing a chicken curry, and we're going to make those bread rolls to see us through the week. Just pulled over to have my lunch on day two, and I'm using up the couscous with chicken, sriracha sauce, the crispy chicken bits, and some spinach. Those of you that follow my channel know that I do like to use up leftovers for lunches. I just think it's realistic, isn't it? It saves waste, it saves time, and with a busy life and working, it just makes everything a lot simpler. So you'll see a lot of that in my challenges of me using up stuff. Gonna have this, gonna get home tonight, gonna do a chicken curry with rice and we're going to get some rolls made with that plain flour. I'll catch you back at home. Right, so I'm in the process of making the bread rolls, and I'm just doing some rice, and we're going to have a curry for tea using up some of that chicken. 1 cup of rice, which has made loads of rice, which means we can use some up tomorrow as well. I want to make a rice pudding for breakfast. Probably, looking at how much is there, probably can do the rice pudding, and we can do ourselves some fried rice as well, chicken fried rice. This is going to be a nice simple curry because I just want to concentrate on getting the bread rolls done tonight. So we're just going to take some of these tomatoes. That'll do. A section of this pepper. I've got 2 other peppers left as well, and I'm going to use one of them to do stuffed pepper. That's definitely on the cards this week. Going to use a bit of spinach as well, just a handful of spinach. Half of one of these big onions. Start by peeling the onion, saving the scraps for our stock when I can find a tub for them. Not too small. Get that on the go in the pan. So I sectioned off a bit of the chicken. I've got chicken for another 3 or 4 meals. Kept the wings, which I'm going to use to make some chicken stuffing rolls, providing my rolls turn out alright. Going to fry the chicken off with the onions, the peppers. Let's slice up these tomatoes as well. Seasoning wise, we're going to add some garlic granules, some garam masala, a little bit of hot curry powder, and a little bit extra cumin. Just a dash. Just chucking it all in. Just going for it. Brown that off. Then we're going to use half the passata. Let that cook down for a minute. Another go at making some easy bread rolls. To make this, all we need ingredients wise is 500 grams of bread flour or plain flour. I'm using plain flour. Going to need 4 grams of sugar, which is 1 teaspoon, 10 grams of salt, 1 7-gram active yeast, dry active yeast. We need 15 mils of olive oil. Where is that? Olive oil. Any other oil will do as a substitute. 100 mils of water and 250 mils of milk. It's going to take 15 minutes approximately to prepare, and then we're going to have to give it a bit of resting time. And so in a bowl, we're going to add the lukewarm water. It's important that it's warm water, not hot, because that kills off the yeast, but not cold because it stops the activation. And then we're going to add in 250 mils of milk to the water. Going to add the yeast. And then we're going to add the sugar. I'm just using granulated because that's all I have. I'm going to mix that together. Set that aside until it froths. It can take up to 15 minutes. While we're waiting on that, I'm just going to measure out 500 grams of our flour. To the flour, we're going to add the salt, so 1.5 teaspoons. We're just going to make a well in the middle of the flour and the salt. And then we're going to add 50 mils of olive oil, which is 1 tablespoon. We're going to add the yeast with the water, the milk and the sugar. Now that it's been left for 15 minutes and frothing. And then we're going to mix all this together. And then as it starts to come together, I'm going to get my hands in there. Flour aside. Get a load on my hands as well. And then we're going to need the dough. Right, I'm going to save you watching me do this for 20 minutes. So I'm going to put something on YouTube and I'll get back to you when this is done. Right, so that's the mixture been kneaded for 20 minutes. It still needs to be relatively sticky, so I didn't use too much extra flour. You can see it's quite sticky in its consistency. Stick that in a bowl, cover it up. You can use a tea towel. I just use a bit of cling film. Just because I want to keep the flies off of it. That is going to get left for a minimum of an hour, so between an hour and a half, and that should double in size. Take a look at it now in the bowl. We'll come back in an hour and a half. Right, so the oven's preheated to 200 degrees, which is 400 Fahrenheit. We've lined the baking tray with some parchment paper. Probably going to need to do a second one because we don't want them too close together. Look at that expertly torn parchment paper or grease-proof paper. So now that it's rested and it's doubled in size, which you can see quite clearly there, look. We're going to punch the dough down on a lightly floured surface and then we're going to divide it. So back out with the flour. Now we're going to divide the rolls up. So I'm going to divide mine up. You can do this based on how big you want your rolls to be. So I say these are of equal size. You can shape these however you like. I'm just going to shape these into rough balls. We're just going to cover them. Leave them for 30 minutes to rest. Right, it's been half hour. I used an extra towel because there's a pesky fly flying around, which is doing my head in. But that's what the rolls look like when they've been rested. Now, someone told me when making previous rolls, if I wanted to be flatter and not so bulbous, I just need to press them down before I put them in the oven. Like so. This one's not very perfect shape, but they don't need to be, do they? Just flatten them out as much as I can, as much as I dare. Like so. I'm just going to give them a quick brush. Right, I like to cover mine in butter. This one's going to be a big boy, look. In the oven, like I said, 200 degrees, 400 Fahrenheit. And we're going to put them in for 20 minutes. We're going to keep an eye on them until they go golden. There's the rolls out of the oven. They actually stayed in for 25 minutes. They're crispy and they're hard on top. They've got a nice colour to them. I'm just leaving them on the tray to cool down. Slightly different shapes, but it doesn't matter, does it? They all go down the same way. Quite like this one at the back. It's got like a funky little pattern on it. But happy the way they turned out. Nice and simple, nice and easy recipe for someone like me who's only just got into baking. They're simple enough to make. And with a towel they cool down. This actually helps to keep them moist as well as letting them cool down nicely. And then I'm just going to store them in this cake box, which doubles as a bread box. Right, day 3, and we're going to have rice pudding. Just going to cook down the rice with some milk so it thickens up. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla flavouring and some cinnamon. While we're doing that, we've got our rolls we made yesterday, and I'm just going to and there you go, that's what the rolls look like inside. Nice, soft, cooked through, delicious. Now I want to make chicken stuffing sandwiches. Don't need to use up a massive amount of stuffing, but this stuffing does do well for stretching out chicken. Let's keep an eye on that rice pudding while we're doing it. So just adding hot water to this. It's thickened up nicely. We'll leave that to cool down for a minute. fridge to speed up cooling it down. Just going to add a load of black pepper, a little bit of salt. Rice pudding's bubbling away. Now, to stretch it out, I'm just going to use the chicken from the wings. Trying to get every last bit of meat off of this chicken. Just switch that down to a simmer. I don't want to burn it on the bottom. Stick those bones in the stock pot. I'm just going to add some mayonnaise to this. Mix that through. Just break off for a minute because the rice pudding's done. Not feeling too hungry at the moment, so I'm going to have it when I get to work. So that's breakfast to take. Right, let's get this roll finished off and then get myself to work. Some spinach in there as well. Oh, it's flowing over the edges. There we go. We've got one big chunky chicken and stuffing roll, homemade roll. So I've got my rice pudding for breakfast. I've got my roll with stuffing, chicken, spinach. I've got an apple and a banana. That's me good for the day. Over to enjoy my lunch. I've got my pear, my banana, stuffing and chicken in a roll. Keep me going all day until dinner. I'll see you back at home when we plan what we're going to have for dinner. Right, time's got away with me today. It's going to be a super quick dinner just for situations like this. So work was a bit manic, and then I got home and I wanted to sit down and do the premiere of the Poundland Challenge. I absolutely love going on these premieres on a Tuesday night at 5 o'clock, getting to chat to you guys. For those of you who are on the premiere, I really do appreciate you coming on, and we just have a little chat on there. I've got to go do the food shop for the rest of the week, for the family food shop. So I'm just going to make something really quick. Just going to fry some onion off, and I'm going to do some bits of bacon in it. This is going to be like a mixed fried rice. So I've taken the fatty bits off the bacon, and then that leaves us with some rashers for the rest of the week. That can go in with the onions. Now I've got some chicken I want to use up as well. Put that bacon away. I might not use the spinach. I've got the spinach out, but I don't actually feel like I need the spinach for this one. I've got a pepper, what's left of the red pepper. We've got 2 more peppers left for the rest of the week. There's a bone there, good job I checked. And then we've got the leftover rice. I'm hoping I've sorted out my mic issues, because my mic's been really like hit and miss recently, and it's getting a bit irritating for me. I imagine it's irritating for you guys. If I can't get on top of it, I'm just going to have to buy a new one. But I basically have like it's called a lav mic. So I sit it on my hat as opposed to my chest, because I'm quite a heavy breather and you don't want to hear that. And you don't want to hear me chewing on stuff. So it usually just sits on there and there's no issues, and then the other bit plugs in just there on the phone. And it works. When I first got it, it works brilliantly, but I will, you know, to be fair to it, it has had a battering. It does go on my fishing trips. When I'm filming for my other channel, it goes, you know, it's in the garden, it's in the allotment, it's been out in the rain. I've dropped it a million times because I'm a clumsy person. So yeah, it has been through its paces a bit. While I was waffling on there, and I was thinking, do I put an egg in it? But I think because we've got bacon and chicken, I might do a nice egg fried glum rice to end the week. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the week on the Saturday with egg fried rice and probably ramen for tea, because you all know I love a ramen. That's what me and Peyton say to each other now. Oh yeah, should we have a cheeky ramen? Right, now that's cooking down a bit, I'm going to add in the chicken and the peppers. This is just a chuck it all in, fry it all off kind of thing. Nice and quick. Put a little bit of seasoning in there, shall we? raiding the spice shelf. So we've got some garlic granules, some hot paprika, then we chuck in the rice and a load of soy sauce. Right, I'm going to let that fry down a little bit, then I'm going to serve it up. One big old plate of fried rice, made super quick, super easy meal, using up some chicken, some bacon, an onion and a pepper, bit of soy sauce, bit of spices made up from the spice rack, and then the cooked rice. Perfect dinner for in a rush. I was about to go sit down and eat my dinner. I've just realised I double riced it today, didn't I? I had rice pudding and then I've had all this rice for tea, so tomorrow might have to be a rice-free day. Right, so the microphone wasn't working once again. Breakfast-wise today, we are having bread rolls with some grated cheese and some sliced raw onion from one of the onions. And for breakfast, we are having porridge, and added to the porridge was a splash of milk after heating it with boiling water, a little bit of honey and some banana. So 2 rolls and for lunch, and porridge for breakfast on day 4. I've got my cheese and onion rolls. I've eaten one already. Almost forgot to film it. These are delicious. Absolutely amazing lunch today. And then tonight, because I had double rice yesterday, I'm gonna focus on making some mixed bean tacos, and I'm gonna try and make some flatbreads just using flour, salt and water. So that'll be fun. Get that done when I get home from work. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying my homemade rolls. I make some really simple plain flour flatbreads using just flour, water and a pinch of salt. So we're going to work on a ratio of 1.5 cups of flour to 1/2 cup of water, so 3 to 1 ratio. Just going to add the water in with the flour, mix that up. Just going to add in a generous pinch of salt. You can add at this point a small splash of water to get it to the consistency you need. Just going to leave it to rest for 5 minutes. We're just going to cover it with a cloth. Right, so I've got some flour and water flatbreads resting on for a minute before I get them out, flatten them out and get them on the pan. Just going to make some taco beans. Going to add some oil to a pan. We're going to add some onion, quite chunky. Chuck them in the pan. Do a little quarter of this yellow pepper. Going to quarter some of the fresh tomatoes just because I want to add a little bit extra to it. Going to add in the tomatoes and the peppers. Then we're going to add in, I want this to be quite spicy, so I'm going to add in some chili flakes, some smoked paprika and a bit of garlic salt. Get the beans opened up. So this is kind of like a cheap way of doing it because the taco beans are already in a tomato sauce, so we've got everything we need to make these taco beans for the wraps. I'm actually going to add a squirt of barbecue sauce to it as well. Turn it down and let that simmer. While the beans are simmering down, I'm just going to make a quick crunchy coleslaw using up some of these carrots, and then I can use the carrot trimming to go in our soup for tomorrow. So I've got the other part of the onion. That leaves us one onion left for days 5, 6 and 7. That'll be plenty for what I've got planned. Making sure that we save the trimmings, tops and tails as well. Right, so I want these really thin, this onion. Just keeping an eye on that taco stuff because I'm obviously reducing down the sauce in it. I don't want it to burn on. That can go in the bowl. And we're going to grate the carrot. Chuck that in the bowl. Whack in some mayonnaise and some fresh chives from the garden. Mix that all together. Carrot, raw carrot, onion with the chive and mayo would be a nice contrast with our beans, which are nearly done. Look, they thickened up lovely. Happy with that. Look, there's our taco beans for our burritos. Right, so we've let the dough rest for a little while. Just going to flour the side. I've got the pan heating up. Just move it around a little bit. Could add spice and flavour into these. I'm just doing them plain for the burritos I'm making. You can add all sorts to them though. I'm going to try and make 2 big ones for the size of my pan. Try and roll this out as thin as possible. First one done. I don't want to overdo them because I want them to stay soft, and to keep them from drying out once they've cooked, we're just going to cover them again with a tea towel. Get the second one on the go. There we go. Super simple, super easy. Just flour, some water, some salt. Didn't take more than 10 minutes. Just going to cover the one I've just cooked, because I do think it really helps to keep them soft, even softens them a bit. Going to make these wraps. Going to use some of this burrito mix. I'm going to have some left over, so I feel like I'm going to have leftovers for lunch tomorrow. Some of that coleslaw mix with the carrot and the onion. I was going to put some cheese in it, but I remembered I've had 2 big cheese baps for lunch, so I'm going to avoid that. If you can hear squawking, my son's got his mate round and I don't even want to know what they're up to. They're up to something in the living room. That's not a bad attempt, is it? Let's go again. Got a bit messy that time, didn't I? So I'm going to try and wrap him over, push him down to the sides. There we are. A couple of big old burrito wraps there. Just going to put the leftovers into a tray for lunch tomorrow. Someone mentioned on the channel, on one of my challenges, they said try doing that whilst working 10 hours a day. Well, I do. That was one of my key points when doing these challenges. I do work 10 hours a day. I leave at work at 6 in the morning. I finish at 5 and I still got a commute on top. Get home, I do videos, I edit, I walk the dog, I do everything I can. I'm busy, I get it, but I still managed from getting home 35 minutes ago to make some homemade taco burritos with some leftovers so I don't have to make lunch in the morning. I'll chuck some spinach and a little bit of cheese on top of that in the morning. But I've managed to do that and film it, and then later on this evening I'm going to sit down and edit it. So it is doable, and I do understand where you're coming from. People are stressed, aren't they? People got busy lives and they've got so much on their plate, but it is doable, guys. You can do it. If I can do it, you know, anyone can do it. I'm just winging it in the kitchen, having a bit of fun. I'm waffling, so I'm going to stop that and I'm going to give this a little go. Still in my work gear. Right, let's have a go. That's incredible. I'm really happy. I'm going to get Vicky to have a go. These are brilliant. I'm going to make these again. So I've made these tortilla breads with just flour, water and salt. Madhouse, and the cat's desperate for food. Right, give it a bite. It's a madhouse tonight. Eat you in a minute, alright? Yes. Right, what do you think?
Lovely.
Do you really like it? It's nice, isn't it, with the fresh tortilla?
So I just need to feed the cat.
This is the naughty boy who needs feeding.
I've not seen him all day and he's been locked upstairs.
He's been up to stuff. But anyway, we're going to feed the cat so he stops meowing. We're going to eat those burritos. Vicky, do you genuinely like them, yeah?
Yeah, they're really
nice fresh tortillas.
Yeah.
My flatbreads, tortillas, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to call them tortillas because they wrapped up really thin like that. Would you call that a tortilla?
Yeah, tortilla wrap, yeah.
Right, I'll see you tomorrow morning for breakfast. Right, so we're going to make a thick stock for soup this evening. I've got all the chicken scraps, the saved veggie scraps, a few bits of unused onion, got a chunked up carrot, the liquid from the chicken, like a jelly, fatty jelly broth. I'm going to add some water so it covers the veg, salt, some pepper, a couple of small bay leaves, a little bit of thyme, that'll do. Leave that in the slow cooker while I'm at work. I'm going to make a breakfast bap for today. So use up the beans, and we're going to do a bit of bacon, just the one slice for the roll. Drop the rest on the floor. It fell in the packet, so and we're going to have one egg with it as well. It would help if I turned on the beans, wouldn't it? Now I broke this egg, never mind. So I've got my egg, put some beans in there. I'll eat the rest of those beans as they are. Bacon, and then the roll. Bacon, egg and bean roll. Just pulled over for lunch. I've got the leftover taco beans, the coleslaw, carrot and onion with mayonnaise and some spinach. Someone did mention on a previous challenge I could use vinegar sachets in my free stuff to give a little bit of tang to the coleslaw. Something I'll probably try in a future video, but this was already made before I read the comments. But that's lunch, and then tonight I'm going to get on and get that soup, and then do maybe cheese on toast with the last of the rolls to go with it. We'll see when we get home. The stock looks really great. You can see it's all rich, it smells amazing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sieve off a load of the stuff inside it, and then I think I'm going to chuck in our noodles to make a chicken noodle soup. And then I'm going to cut this in half, put it in the air fryer, crisp it up with some cheese and some tomatoes to make some like little pizza roll breads to dip in it and have with it. So let's get on and do that. Great. There we go. So what I might do, I might just smash up these noodles and just have it as is. Let's give that a try. Just needs a bit more salt and pepper to season. Less of a stock, more of a chicken soup this. You right, Shy Bubs? Yeah, do you want to try this soup?
Yeah, should we check?
No, you can do it off camera, you don't have to worry about putting a t-shirt on here. Chicken soup, like chicken broth.
Proper nice. Just hot though.
Nice though, isn't it?
I love chicken broth.
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to chuck the noodles in that chicken broth. Leave that for a minute. Right, let's get these rolls done. I'll save that for something else. Don't need the curry sachet. Could have added some rice, could have added some pasta to it. But I fancy chicken noodle. I'm going to make pasta on the last day because I've just used up the ramen. Right, so we've got our bread. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some passata on it. Grate some of this lovely cheese. I'm addicted to this cheese. I'm going to pop down Aldi and try the other ones because there was 3 types. There's like a yellow pack, an orange ready pack, and this colour. There's quite a lot of cheese there, isn't it? Oh, geez. Gonna make some really cheesy pizza breads. I am gonna save some of that back because that's ridiculous. But that's the cheese on there. I'm gonna stick a couple of cherry tomatoes on the top, I think. Baby plum tomatoes, they're not cherry ones, are they? Looks good. I'm gonna have to get a chunk of that cheese. I can't help myself. So good. Gonna use one of my freebie sachets of soy sauce. Payne likes the sushi they do in Asda's, and whenever they have them on discount, which is quite often in our Asda's, I always grab her some as a little treat, and then grab as many packs of sushi, ginger and wasabi. I just figured this would be nice on top of the cheese. Right, I'm going to stick them in the air fryer for 10 minutes, and then I'll have a tidy up and get back to you. So there we have for dinner, a chicken broth with noodles, soup. It tastes so good, I just wanted it as is. Could have put a load of veggies and stuff in it, could have blended some soup up, but this is honestly delicious, and the noodles in it's really nice. And then I've got the last of the homemade roll, which I'll put in the air fryer with some passata, some melted cheese, topped with some tomatoes. We've got a thunderstorm on the go. Gonna eat this, grab a shower, and I'm actually gonna put my feet up for the night and watch a bit of film with Vicky, I think. Bit disorganised this morning. We're just gonna have some porridge. I'm gonna use this soup because I bought it for an extra bit of convenience anyway. And I'm just gonna add, it's got spiced chickpea and spinach in it anyway. So I thought I might add some fresh spinach. Before I do that, I'm gonna take people's advice in the comment section, and I'm gonna preheat my thermos for 10 minutes with some boiling water, because I've been advised that keeps things warmer for longer. So we'll do that while we're having breakfast. I'm also going to try someone's advice of adding the hot water like this and then put it in the microwave. So zap that in the microwave. I'm going to add a little bit of milk. I do try and take on everyone's advice on the channel. Within reason, obviously I'll be running around in circles because some people have conflicting advice. But if it makes sense and it improves what I'm doing, I do take it on board. I'm going to use up the last of this free orange marmalade. So orange marmalade porridge, try it now that I've heated it up instead of just adding hot water. It does make a difference. Feels more like it's cooked through. I think I'm going to be less lazy and make sure I stick it in the microwave from now on. Right, I'm going to eat this and then we'll get on and get the soup done. Right, so we're going to heat up this soup. I've got lots of chickpeas in it. Decided to bolster it up even more. So we're going to chuck in some more tomatoes because we're getting towards the end of the challenge anyway, and I've got quite a bit to use up. Tomorrow being the last day. Chuck in a load of pepper. I'm going to cook it all up because one of the things I think I did wrong in the thermos last time is I put items in cold. It took the temperature down, so everything's going to get heated through in here. And a load of the spinach. Again, this looks like a lot of spinach, but it does just wilt down. Get that piping hot. I think we'll do a couple of carrot sticks as well as a snack. Right, that's bubbling away. I'm gonna empty out the hot water. This is a great tip. I never really thought of it before, so really appreciate that in the comment section. Oh, I'm making a mess. I really do need to buy a jam funnel. It'll be great for this. It's great for pouring stuff when they're clumsy like me. Keep saying it, but don't do it. So that's lunch sorted. Got some carrot sticks, a pear, and a hearty soup with loads of chickpeas and some fresh veg added to it to beef it out. Just pulled over for my lunch. How super tasty does this look? With all the extra bits of veg in it. I don't know if I'm filming it very well, it's in direct sunlight. Got big chunks of tomato, peppers, spinach. Gonna need a spoon for this bad boy. Really nice flavour to it as well. Nice healthy lunch. I've eaten the carrot sticks whilst I'm out and about, and the pear's gone as well, so I'm just going to finish my lunch, and then tonight I'm going to get home and we're going to have some of my favourite things to make. I'm actually going to do a video to share it. It's jacket potato skins, but they're filled with stuffing mix, bacon and cheese. I'm going to do them with some chicken enchiladas, I think. We're going to finish up the filled potatoes. I think the quesadillas are going to be with the stuffed pepper for tea tomorrow night. You can hear me over the bacon. I'm taking out the potato. Gonna add boiling water to the stuffing mix. I love making these are one of my favourite things to make. So we'll try and keep the skins intact if possible. I've just microwaved these for convenience. I saved 2 bits of bacon for tomorrow, last day for breakfast. I've got some of the cheese. I've also saved some cheese. I think I'm going to do scrambled eggs tomorrow. Grate some of this cheese in here. Mix that through. So I'm going to chuck the potato in as well. And get that bacon. Chuck the bacon in and mix that all together. We're going to put these back in. I'm using my fingers. Add these back in like so. Change of plan, these are going to go in the oven with a bit of cheese grated over the top. I just wanted to make sure I save some cheese for tomorrow. I've got quite a lot left, so I might see how that cooks alongside it. Stick these in the oven and I'll get back to you. So dinner, we've got the 4 jacket potato skins with the stuffing, cheese and bacon. Gonna eat them. I've saved the long roll of stuffing mix which has been in the oven as well. That'll do me for tea tonight. Tomorrow morning we'll have the eggs, and then I'm going to do the quesadilla stuffed pepper with rice and pasta tomorrow for the last day of the challenge. Looking forward to that. Right, breakfast, I'm just going to use up some of the stuff we've got left over. This afternoon we're going to have some pasta. Still got the passata to use up. I'm just going through the fridge bits. Some cheese there, carrots, peppers. I think we're just going to have egg, bacon and some spinach. I'll be honest with you, I can't be bothered to make bread on the last day. I mean, I've got to the last day. I'm kind of focusing on the next week's challenge, the £1 revisited. I'm going to make a stuffed pepper for tea. Yeah, right, okay, I think we're just going to have that, so I'll stick this out the way. Get the bacon on. Got thin slices, but that's fine, doesn't matter. Get that going. That's the last of the bacon. Flip the bacon. Chuck the last of the spinach. Get the eggs ready. That's clever. Splash of milk. Bit of black pepper. Bit of salt. This is turning into an omelette. We'll chuck some of the cheese in with the mix. And chuck that into the smaller pan. Now actually going to add the spinach into the omelette. I've made more washing up for myself, but never mind. I just changed my mind halfway through starting breakfast. Got the grill heating up so I can stick it in the grill once it's been on for a few minutes. Right now it's cooked round the bottom. We're just going to add some more cheese over the top. I'm just making Vicky a coffee. I've got my lovely omelette. I'm glad I changed my mind now. So got my delicious spinach and bacon omelette. Right, I'm going to eat this, get my butt down the allotment and get on with fixing that shed before we get more rain. Need to knock up a quick and easy lunch because I want to get back out and get on with some of the gardening and stuff like that. So I think we're just going to do half the of the last onion, a bit of chicken. We're going to fry the chicken and the onion. And then I'm going to add some sauce, some herbs, some spices, whack in the passata. Just an easy pasta for lunch. And then later on this evening we'll get on and do the quesadillas and the stuffed peppers with rice. Onions with a bit of olive oil. The chicken, saving the rest for tonight. The quesadillas, a whole pepper left later, so we're going to use up the last of this yellow one. Get some paprika in there, some pepper, some garlic salt, add the rest of the passata. Chuck in a load of the pasta. Got some fresh basil off the windowsill. There we go, nice cheeky little quick lunch. Didn't take time at all really. Very tasty. Gonna smash that, get on with the rest of my Saturday jobs, get back in the kitchen tonight to make the quesadillas, which I keep putting off. I think I said that 3 or 4 times throughout the whole week, but there will be quesadillas on the last meal of the last day. I have to, I can't push it back anymore, can I? What a wombat. So I've got 1.5 cups of flour, half a cup of water, just like in the previous version of these we did this week. Difference is I've added some smoked paprika, some hot paprika, some pepper and some garlic salt just to add a bit of flavour. Don't know if I need to add a little bit more water to this. Might add a splash. I've got the rice on the go as well, so I thought I'd get these made up so they can rest for 5 minutes while we do the rest of it. Just going to knead this through a little bit. Make sure it's all mixed together. Smells really nice. Stick that in a bowl, cover that, and then we'll come back to that. This challenge is almost a challenge of changing my mind every 5 minutes. It's just one of them things, I think. So I was going to do stuffed peppers. I've changed my mind again. I'm going to do some burritos, some chicken burritos. I've got some onions frying down. I've got the last of the chicken. Just going to chop that up. I'm going to chuck that in the pan with the onions. I chuck in some seasoning, thinking piri style. Going to chuck in the tomatoes. That's the last of the tomatoes used up. Going to fry these peppers off separately. Then we're going to chuck in some of the chopped tomatoes, bit of salt and pepper. So I'm just doing the 2 flatbreads. Got one on the go in the pan at the moment. Just starting to fry off the peppers. The paprika and the spices have made it go a really cool colour, hasn't it? Right, the last one's just doing in the pan. The peppers are done. Gonna make one of these up. Gonna have 2 of these for dinner. So you've got the rice and chicken and onions and tomatoes. Might be overfilled. Soon find out. Some of that cheese, that's the last of the cheese grated up. Then we want some of these peppers. These are a bit drier, these ones. I don't know if it's because I've added all the spice to them. There we go, we've got some chicken and rice with some crunchy peppers and some cheese in some spiced flatbreads. I know I chopped and changed all the time, but I'm going to call that chef's prerogative. It's just been one of them weeks. Let's give this a taste test before I go over and sum up the video. Stunning. Really happy with that. A little bit spicy. The rice in it's really nice. The peppers have got a crunch to them. It's just genuinely really good. Got a few items left over from this week's challenge. Got half a bag of the pasta. A lot of the porridge, because we didn't have porridge every day, did we, for breakfast? About a quarter of the flour left, just over a quarter. Got one potato, a couple of carrots, half a tin of chopped tomatoes, and one pear. And the curry seasoning from the noodles. A fun week working with £1 a day as our challenge budget. I enjoyed that. I think I made some nice meals. I think I used up the chicken quite well. This week was a hectic week, so there was a little bit of chop and changing. There was a little bit more pressure on it. But it's my choice to make these challenges. No one's making me do them, and I enjoy doing them. It's just sometimes I get a bit overwhelmed with the amount of things going on. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. I like the concept of £1 a meal because that's quite a decent budget. So it's less than a meal deal nowadays for a sandwich, a packet of crisps and a drink. So to get 3 decent meals out of that, to have quite a lot of leftovers, all these leftovers are going to go into my store cupboards. They'll get used up in the family household. So I'll use the chopped tomatoes up today because I've opened the tin. The pasta will just go over all the pasta. Got loads of flour and stuff because Vicky does baking as well and stuff like that. And the porridge oats will get eaten by the kids. So nothing gets wasted. Probably could have got an extra day out of that if I needed to, but I'm eager to get on with the next challenge. £1 a day. I did £1 a day, and then I've got a lot of advice tips on the comment section. I've also learned a lot more, and I'm a bit more confident about making flatbreads, as you've just seen, experimenting with baking. So I want to incorporate that in with it, and using lentils, because lentils will be there. There's no spoiler on that one because you probably already knew I was going to be going for lentils for protein source. Enough waffling. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to support the channel, there's plenty of ways to do it. You can subscribe, check out the rest of my content, hit that notifications button and you'll get notified. Jump in the comment section, let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's anything I could have done different. I always absorb your advice, your recipes, your tips. And I just love having a chat in the comment section. It's a lovely community in this channel. Buy me a coffee, there's channel membership, there's all sorts. Other than that, I just really appreciate you being here, watching the video, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, bye bye.